It's a tough one, honestly, but I am just gonna lean towards City for now. This isn't my debate. This is between you two. I don't want to corner Colonel here.
I'm used to it. I'm usually the odd one out when it comes like this type shit.
Fuck,
Crank wasn't on assignment. He'd be on my side.
I don't think he'd be making fun of both of us, probably.
He probably would be.
He'd be sitting down doing his taxes, so we get started.
He'd probably side with House by the Cemetery just for the fuck of it.
Just to fuck with us.
If you want to become a member, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com, then click on the membership tab. You can join for the price of a cup of coffee once a month.
To our members of Chris Faze, Lorena Faze, Beanie Mags, and Tyrone, we also have in our second tier people, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley. The days draw nigh, sir. We'll see you soon. Raymond and the Whole Damn Enchilada podcast present tonight. And then our final, the bottom tier members, but not any less special, Adam, Corey, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy, Orlando, Chuck, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. And I am nowhere near the clap. We got a poll up on YouTube this week, and we asked all you fine folks exactly that. Which one would you think you would side with? Which one do you like better? What is your favorite of these two Fulci masterpieces? Faze, what did we get?
It was.
Oh, look at that. See?
It was tight.
I'll be honest. That is a hell of a lot closer than what I thought it would be. Because I was getting notified all day long while I was at work, like, oh, man. Oh, boy, City's kind of taking it on the chin here. So, hey.
You know what? I was so confident in my film, I didn't even fucking bother to check until someone mentioned it. So, all right, let me take it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the first I've seen it, too. But, I mean, it's that's good. Okay, that means we're going to have a nice discussion tonight. So, our opening arguments. But these are two films highly inspired from the Lovecraftian worlds, with actual histories of real text and tomes from actual history, and albeit a little silly, some of the connections they do make to them, it still helps with this. But what he was going for was just making these movies feel like a nightmare. And I believe, because that's something I discovered on both of these movies, is they're pretty much the same plot. Essentially, the mechanics, the A to B to C to D is the same.
Yes.
It's close the gates, stop the guy behind it, and stay alive, And I just think, as my last opening statement here on it, a City did it with a much broader, colorful brush. That's what I'll leave for my City push. Tell me why.
No, my opening argument's okay. So, again, City of the Living Dead, it's a fine film. I enjoy it. I love the gore. I enjoy the story, even though it could be fleshed out a little bit better. But then I'll throw another few movie titles out at you guys, all right? Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, okay? The Dark Knight, The Empire Strikes Back, even Evil Dead 2. Films with great foundations, but where the sequel is superior to the first. Like you said, City of the Living Dead is painted with a broad brush. The Beyond to me is painted with the fine details that the City of the Living Dead left out. It fleshes out the story just a little bit more, just a fucking little bit more. Okay. Albeit still as a fucking nightmare that'll come up later. Neither one of these movies really make fucking sense. I just think The Beyond makes a little more sense than City of the Living Dead.
I think only because it's. By the way, I like your painting analogy with a finer point brush. I can live with that because, and it's grounded in a more everyday. Hell hasn't quite taken over the whole area yet, like Dunwich in City at this point. So, yeah, it's a more focused, more grounded in reality. Where like City, you're already fucking gone, man, and you're asleep and you can't wake up right away because it's and all bets are off. Anything can happen in that thing, you know. I mean, the Beyond's pretty. I think it's a linear path to me. It's going, you know, but at the end, they fucking rank it up to 11 with the fucking okay. We're going down the stairs. Oh, we're back at the hotel. Hey, that's when it got fucking nightmarish to me for the Beyond. When things stopped. Nightmarish? I mean, that's the very fucking end of it. But I mean, I'm just saying when things.
I think it's a little bit thinner than that. But I'll meet you halfway and say halfway through the film, this wasn't real nightmarish. I'll get to it. But it was more of like a fuck it. I'll get to it again. You guys, I'll repeat myself on this one. It was more of like a Southern Gothic haunted house tale. About the first half of the movie, and then it kind of got flipped.
I mean, the book's there. It's not there.
The painting's there. It's not there.
It's not there. And then the fucking... We're still in opening arguments. So I'll say I got something.
We're starting to get way ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's our opening arguments. That's why we think, you know, Colonel capitalized on my broad brush painting to finer hand. I don't think it's that much of a contrast, really. I think it's a lot closer than, you know, I would say a smaller brush. Let's say that. But yeah, so we got, you know, two good starts here, and I don't know, man. I still don't know why. I don't know if I buy the middle of the trilogy analogy here.
No, I completely buy it.
Because these films are unintentionally connected as a trilogy. You know, they never set out and said, "Hey, we're making a sequel to City of the Living Dead. We're making a sequel to The Beyond." And these are independent, standalone movies that all fit that narrative of them 7 gates of hell. And they say, okay, you know, even Zombie does. I mean, in a way. I'll get to that later.
I'm going to counter argue that with, do you really think Sam Raimi made out Evil Dead 2? Set out to make a trilogy when he made Evil Dead 2? No, it's a retelling of the Evil Dead, but you count it as a trilogy. The Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. So I see your argument, but I kind of agree, but no, it's still considered a trilogy. Even if it was not intentionally set out to be a trilogy.
Yeah, it was never a trilogy until much later. Like a decade after.
Fulci knew what the fuck he was doing. He just played dumb. Don't let him fool you. I got on the Ouija board. He'll admit it now.
I kind of think he was a stubborn, stingy kind of guy, and I think he, you know what I mean? When he didn't get his way, he was quick to leave projects, walking off Conquest to get City of the Living Dead going, and you know, and walking off Zombie 3 because he didn't like how the script was being adapted at that time. Just kind of a prick. But I mean, his vision is you can't deny that. But I mean, the technical stuff, that's where Argento was better. He would go back and do the things. Fulci, it looks like everything's one fucking take. It goes out of focus here and there. You see fucking microphones and stuff popping out here and there. And
he had places to fucking be, man.
Huh?
He had places to fucking be. Don't knock him. You know?
I'm just saying, man, I understand why people argue. They say his movies are trash, which is an absolute ludicrous statement if you're any kind of horror fan. And especially if you want to get into the European bracket. But I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know, man. It's that as a fucking Empire Strikes Back. kind of settles the argument in the grand scheme because everybody knows that's the best one in the Star Wars world.
Yeah, and everybody knows the Beyond is the best one.
Well, clearly 48% say they're not.
Well, clearly 52% say it is.
Let's move on to the first main topic, the scripts.
Where do you want to start? You want to?
Let's start thinking. Say the Living Dead came out first.
Very well.
All right.
Yes. He made like $1.5 million off of Zombie, right? It came out Lira. So that became like a worldwide hit. It was a big hit worldwide, this film. And so right away, I got all these other ideas. And City of the Living Dead was greenlit as something else almost, but he was working on Conquest at the time when they did it. And as soon as it was greenlit, he bolted off Conquest. He was like, that's it. I'm out. Yeah, finish it up. I'm going to do this. And they started right away with the principal photography and everything. So the script was, he didn't want to work with the same dude from Zombie anymore. And I'm not going to try to get into these names and everything. So he went with, it started with a D, Danielle, I think, shit. I don't know. Anyway. They wrote the script for City of the Living Dead, and it didn't get really grabbed right away. They were like, well, and then we need to add some things to it. So they kind of worked out these gags to put into this movie to help it. And then they just said, we're just going to ride on the success of Zombie 2 and just boom, we should make another $1 million. It almost made $1 million lira, but not quite. It fell a little short, so it's almost like a disappointment. But the script is, they, aside of the ending, which I guess the film was damaged, some kind of better ending they had, which nobody seems to remember what the fuck it was, or is still alive to tell us. And that's one of the big problems with City of the Living Dead. It's just a very unsatisfying ending. I mean, it's like the bare minimum of closure on it. That's it though. The script is it's tense. The locations they picked were fucking all just super. Not any place you'd want to walk a fucking lone ever. So I mean, I just think they nailed all that stuff. But the script, you got it. You got a priest who kills himself and opens one of these gates, one of the 7 gates, and now you have to just kill the demon priest to close it. It's the only way, and you only have 2 days to do it. That's our premise of the script, and then you've seen it from there. I'll throw it to Colonel to give his Beyond script assertion.
All right, the Beyond script, like I said, it's a little finer detail. Starts off 1927 Louisiana in a hotel. I'll give City of the Living Dead credit. It kind of gets you, bam, right at the fucking start. Father Thomas hanging himself, and everything else. But the Beyond goes up a level. You got some guys in this hotel room just making a painting. You got this lynch mob crossing the fucking swamp, and just straight up fucking horrendously murder this dude, like right from the jump. You're getting big gashes, blood coming out. They even make it black and white to be like, hey, look, this took place back in the old times. They didn't just have dust all over the fucking screen like, let's make it look grainy. No, they made it look old. Okay, you got this dude getting nailed to the fucking wall, melting his fucking face. Unfortunately, because this dude practiced black magic. Unfortunately, they didn't know he was protecting a 7th gate of hell.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
Was he, or is he misunderstood, or is he a fucking warlock and was just
I
biding
believe
his
he's a
time?
warlock, but I think he was protecting that gate of hell.
That's what he says, but
I believe it.
I don't know, man.
I believe the story, man. I believe
Again, it's not clear. It's not.
Nothing in either one of these movies are clear. So I want to hear that as an argument again.
It's less clear.
It is not less clear. Damn it, it's up for interpretation. I love movies like that. Choose your own adventure. I don't want a movie written in crayon to tell me what to think. I want to know what's going on. Where the City of the Living Dead doesn't quite do that, but it does.
The whole movie's not a crayon. You got a crayon to stop, and then you got some pencil, cursive, click, all like right in there. Don't start with that shit. There's some good stuff in City, and it's not just a.
There's some good stuff. Don't interrupt me. I let you say what the fuck you got to say until you call me a gatekeeper. All right, this is why I said we're going to mute people.
See,
You're gonna interrupt me
gatekeeper.
like a
Gotta have
Cheeto.
his way.
If you're gonna gatekeep me like the Cheeto and interrupt me, I'm gonna have Faze fucking mute you. All right.
They have to.
So
He is the moderator.
I know. So fast forward to 1981, Lisa Morrell inherits his hotel. She moves down from New York to Louisiana. Going to refurbish it, reopen it, make some money. Basement's flooded. Joe the plumber comes in. Yeah, let me take a look at this. Knocks down the wall. Accidentally opens up the gate of hell. And pun totally intended. All hell breaks loose from there out. And you guys seen the rest. Zag already told you the fucking end of the movie, but he didn't say the end of his movie. Suspiciously, he told you the end of mine.
They come clawing out of the crypt. The boy runs at them. They're happy for a second. She realizes, oh, fuck. We didn't do it in time. It's past All Saints Day. We failed.
Well, there we go. They just spoiled his own movie, so there we go. But no, I think the script's fucking great. I like room for interpretation. I interpreted this film different than you did. Faze would interpret it different than we did. Alex there would interpret this film different than I do. That's the beauty of the Beyond and the script. I think it tells a better story, but there's a lot for interpretation. Choose your own adventure. Do you want to go to page 46? You want to go to page 32? That's your choice. It makes it more fun.
It's right after Bob gets killed is when things start going a little bit like, well, wait a minute. I know Mom goes in, dresses plumber, and but we never see what she sees, and causes her to perfectly lay down under a spilled jar of acid.
She fell, but you're right. We don't see it, but you see the heart monitor or brain monitor on what's his name? Schweck. Thank you. I have it written down here. You get activity. And of course, when Jill goes back in there, that brain activity's fucking gone, and her mom's just melting away.
And it's like I think this was a chance to upstage the gut puke.
There's no upstaging the gut puke. I'll even admit that.
Wow.
Who would argue that you can upstage the gut puke? The face film is cool, but the gut puke is fucking phenomenal.
The attempt, though, would have been interesting. But again, it's just, it's clearly just like a foam with a cavity in it, and they make some shit pop out of it and melt.
Oh, they used real fucking acid on it, though.
I know, but
you're saying it looks like it's still gut puke when it's just her fucking teeth and the guts coming out. That's clearly fucking foam. It's not
4K.
You're tearing fucking apples in there.
Yeah, the 4K did nothing for that scene.
No, not at all.
But I don't know. I just thought that would have been really fucking heavy to see some eyeball melting out, see some skull in there. I mean, it's mostly liquid. Come on, and that's the scene.
But I mean, the scene before that, Joe, you get a nice eye gouge, and you get a nice eye gouge later in the film. I know it's its own category, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I will say, City of the Living Dead is superior in one aspect to the Beyond. So I'll get more on that later.
Well, let's talk about the acting.
A lot of it's overacted. City of the Living Dead went out and got a couple of actual players in the game at that time. In Christopher George and Jan Argan, I believe is her name, the one that played Sandra. And she was like a big model, actress, star back then, so it was kind of a big deal getting her in this kind of movie. It's okay. They carry it pretty good, but, them trying to be American isn't viable at all. That's the one thing. I mean, even a couple of the actors speak their lines in English. It's just that they didn't. I don't think Fulci had a full grasp on American culture and how it actually was. Just some of the dialogue is just, But acting it's adequate. It doesn't take you out of it too much. The dub voices you hear in the American versions, because I recommend you try to watch these and the actual Italian cut, if you can get through it with the subtitle, it hits a little harder, in my opinion. Colonel, acting and the beyond.
I'll give the edge to the actors in the Beyond. Just barely. I mean, the acting isn't anything right at home about. Yes, Zag was 100% correct. You can obviously tell who your English-speaking actors were and who else was just dubbed over, because it was plainly fucking obvious. Painfully obvious. But, Catherine McCall, I thought she had a really great performance. I think this is her strongest performance in the trilogy. Just really felt for her as much as you could, because I kind of agree with Zach. Fulci wasn't the best at portraying all this. But, that little scene where she's in the bar with John, David Warbeck, and she's like, pretty much saying, this needs to work. I've tried everything to make money. This is like my last chance. You felt for her,
She portrayed herself as being been striking out a few times already.
Yes. And she did a great fucking job, man. Like I said, David Warbeck, he was a pretty strong supporting character. I wasn't too thrilled with his character overall, because he kind of is a stereotypical, I'm the man, I'm going to save you type shit. I'm a doctor. This makes no logical sense. I don't believe you. But he did a good job playing that fucking character.
Well, I like that. He took no shit. He was like, no, you're out. Whatever. You're some kind of scammer. What are you up to? What are you doing here? These guys are dying in your place. What the fuck? And then he starts seeing there is something going on. And
he starts seeing it, but he still didn't believe it till the very fucking end. He's like, that's when it hit him. Logically, none of this is never going to make sense. And then a couple other people I'd like to give a shout out to and try to get her name correct. Cinzia Monreale, or Sarah Keller in the titles, played Emily. I give her credit for being able to kind of move around with those fucking lenses in, because she couldn't see shit. But again, this is where it was really bad voiceover and kind of killed her performance for me. Same thing being said about Maria Pia Marcel, Jill. What's it up with Fulci putting bad kids in his movies, man?
Actors. It has to be some kind of nepotism, I would think. You can't be casting these people like this if they're,
I think he's like, oh, how much money we have left? Yeah, okay, we'll find the minimum.
Right.
I need to get a good fucking squib shot over here.
And I don't think he, Yeah, he used the kids in some key scenes, but I guess John had it hung on him when after Sandra gets killed, he has to go run down the alleyway. That's pretty heavy for a kid like that. So, yeah, but he none of those kids. I would say John's probably the least annoying out of if we're talking the whole Gates of Hell trilogy, because that fucking one in House by the Cemetery is like, holy shit.
Oh, we know how you feel about him. No, I thought Jill wasn't really that annoying. I think the most annoying thing about Jill for me is when she screamed, when she, for whatever reason, decided to go into the fucking cooler with the dead bodies, and that one kind of leaned towards her. That fake fucking scream. It wasn't even her scream. It was just like stock fucking screams, like that scream you hear in action movies. Like, fuck it, put it in. Let's move on. That was the most annoying part. That was fucking hilarious, I'll be honest.
That is pretty funny. I mean, fuck. We should have just used this. It would have been better. Yeah. More believable.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the acting, and again, if you're going to a Fulci movie and looking for some top tier 5-star acting, it's the wrong place to be anyway. It's
like watching one of those old Godzilla movies and expecting the acting to be good. Like, you know what you're walking into. Well, not the first time, but literally after the first time you see a Fulci film, you know what you're walking into each time after that. Because they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of them are in that same vein. But the atmosphere and the whole, just the vibe is undeniable.
No, I agree. I can only make the same argument for the Beyond. The atmosphere is fucking terrifying. And it's, like I said, especially Fabio's score. Again, I'll get more into that when we talk about the scores because I know that's a topic. It's just the atmosphere in both films is very fucking heavy, dude. Like it probably helped that I was watching the Beyond during when we were underneath the fucking heat dome and the humidity was 97 fucking percent. Like I felt like I was in Louisiana. I'm watching it in a hot ass fucking room, sweating like, whew. Like I was in the South. I was there.
I think both movies, just you said the soundtrack and everything. They do repeat a lot of the tracks in both movies.
Yes.
But both fucking movies are absolutely ingrained. Those scores are part of it. They're bringing out things you wouldn't have. Almost on the level of like the Halloween music does for that movie. That's how good these are for these two movies.
They're fucking fantastic, and it fits the movie fucking perfectly. Perfectly, both scores. I mean, it's.
I will say when they were back at they go back to the hospital in the Beyond, and when the zombies all show up and everything, and he's trying to dispatch them. That's when I was kind of like, okay, this I don't remember that being this tense the first few times I watched that, and I was like, and I made a huge connection at that moment too, which again later.
Moved on to the soundtrack.
Yes.
Again, Fabio Frizzi, not familiar with his work, watch a Lucio Fulci film, you sure as hell will, because every one of them are fucking, as the kids say today, bangers. Like, they're all fucking good. He has a very distinct sound. It's just so good. But what I really liked about the soundtrack and the score and the Beyond is you had the orchestra and that chorus element to the soundtrack and the theme of the movie. But Zag already kind of touched on this. As the film goes on, and I was really paying attention since I knew I'd debate this. I never really noticed it before. The music just gets, like darker and gets heavier and just feels like, there's an unescapable fate for the characters going. It just gets darker and darker and darker as the movie goes on. And it kind of helps you feel that, that panic, like, oh shit, things getting worse. What the fuck? And so it's that reason alone. I did not pick that up on City of the Living Dead. Again, I'll be honest, I was paying more attention to the Beyond than City of the Living Dead for tonight. City of the Living Dead is a refresher. This was a deep dive. Okay, I gotta tell Zag why this movie is fucking better than City of the Living Dead. So it could be the same as City of the Living Dead. I don't know, but that's what I picked up on the overall theme throughout the whole movie. I was watching the Beyond, darker, heavier, and again, talking about how one of the great ones of all time. I really don't. Here's a little fun fact I found doing my research. I'm not a big fan of the magazine. I don't think they really know shit about music. But in 2016, Rolling Stone magazine ranked the score for the Beyond the 11th best horror score of all time. Take that for what it is, though. Again, it is Rolling Stone.
Yeah. I don't take it too far from them. Some of their rankings don't make any sense either.
Again,
but,
next, I swear, lighting off fireworks. No, but again, still, that kind of backs me up a little bit. That it is one of the best scores of all time.
And I'll admit, once I watched Frizzi do that main theme for the Beyond live with a full band and shit, dude, and god damn it, man, they were fucking throwing it down. So I'm excited to see him perform. Just kind of like when Goblin was going to come through and do Dawn of the Dead, and then that guy fucking canceled. So, but with City, I mean, they fucking tear you right out of your seat with the fucking blood-curdling scream right at the beginning of the thing, and then hit you with the fucking dum-dum, and it's just so goddamn just menacing right away. And then just the the swaying synth underneath it, and then the electric guitar picks up, and then it almost starts doing a solo under that shit, dude. Fuck, still twists me. And then you've got your when the priest hangs himself, and it goes to the acoustic guitar. That little medley he does, dude, goosebumps. You know, and there's two more, and it revisits a lot of the same themes a lot, and there's lots of like stingers almost, where it's just kind of like when they're showing something kind of creepy. A lot of that in Gates of Hell or City, but then the final battle, when it's like they get the monks chanting during the kick drum thumping and shit, fucking perfect, man. And it just works. It makes it an 80s horror flick. I mean, Italian flavored all the way. Just fucking Lovecraftian through the eyes of a fucking master and a maestro. And then the fucking guy getting that and making the music that fits so perfectly. That's what I mean, man. I don't know. Soundtrack I never forgot. Of any of the movies I've ever seen, this was like probably one of the first ones I ever sought out and purchased. You know, back on cassette, back in the day. So I don't know. I like The Beyond. I think it's a little bit more redundant than what City is. You know, just a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to argue a little bit, but not much, because you said they're both very redundant.
Yeah,
very redundant. It's almost like it's on a fucking loop in both films.
And
like, the sound that I noticed, and again, watching it without the original score the first time, it does get darker as the movie goes. Again, it may have a Say Living Dead. I did not pick up on it, though. That's why I give this one the edge. And like they're in the comments right here, you know, I'm under my weight class right now. I'm not a fucking musician. I enjoy music. I don't play it.
I'm just saying, like I
haven't played a recorder. It was the last time instrument I fucking played, dude.
Fucking recorder.
When they show the night after it's All Saints Day, and they show all the locations, like down the alley and the bridge, and it's just kind of a piano going, dong, ding, 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 bong. You know, it's fucking, dude, it's epic. Just absolutely fits it and just puts it in your face. It keeps you off balance. It's so uneasy the entire movie with these tunes they put in. So Beyond's the same way. I mean, it's not as, the one track is super memorable. All the rest of them, I can't really think of any that stand out.
Again, and I can say the same about Say the Living Dead. Again, it's all about preference. Which one have you seen more? Which one do you like better? That's what this all boils down to any fucking way. We're not changing anybody's minds. I can see it in the fucking comments.
I think I've seen them both about the same now, too, like, at this point. But
I really thought about it.
Cemetery is the one I've not seen as much.
I'll be honest, I've only seen that one once. That was enough. I probably do need to revisit it.
Oh, fuck. Dude,
after watching these two.
Dude, the Abbott, it's on par. It doesn't have a Freezy soundtrack, but the guy they got is good. And it's more gothic work, but it fits. And that house is fucking super creepy, and Freudstein and the whole thing. That's another day, but not too far in the future when we look at that one. But I don't know, man. It's a preference thing, folks. What do you think? Beyond City of the Living Dead in the score? Because I don't know, man. Again, I see one track with the Beyond with, again, the chanting and the la 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 la. That one's the best one, you know. But fucking City, dun dun.
But next up, we've got your favorite topics for both of you. I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit!
The gore.
Colonel,
why else do you get into Fulci as much as you do? Let's be honest.
How did I? Oh yeah.
So,
you know what got me originally? The first time when I was like, "What the holy motherfuck?" and I squirmed out of my chair, was the fucking splitter in Zombie. The eyeball.
That's pretty hardcore. Still.
And I was still processing the alien popping out of that guy's fucking chest like a month earlier. You know what I'm saying? So I was just seeing some heavy ass shit for the first time, and at 9 years old, 8 years old.
That's fucked.
But I knew, I go, oh yeah, I must have more. There must be more gore. I'll start this one because
Go ahead. You've already been rambling on about 3 minutes about it.
I am. The gore here, City of the Living Dead. I didn't know who the fuck Fulci was. I wasn't that smart at that time. Movies were fucking movies. You didn't pay attention to who directed them. Maybe a star here and there, but I didn't even know these were Italian movies, okay? I was going to see a double feature, didn't really care what they were, and I was usually pleasantly surprised with at least one of them. So here I was watching this, and again, that scream got me right out the gate with the title. The priest hangs himself, and then we start getting into these things, and then the fucking one of the greatest bits of all time, of all modern horror cinema happens. And the gut puke. And I don't know, man. I just remember sitting there and being like, Jesus Christ, what could they possibly do that'll top that, I was just like, I don't remember any of the movie for 20 minutes after that the first time I saw it. I was so ripped out by that shit. Pretty much right up until, I went, what? Oh, the handful of maggots and shit in the face, too, at the front. That one's a bit gross, too.
It's not gross now, because rewatching that, I was like, is that fucking grape jelly?
They put some squirmies in there and stuff, but I mean, that, and then, man, they get to that fucking Bob gets drilled, and it's like, again, I'm amazed, and I look at it now, and I can see how they did it. I get it, a neat mechanism to have that shit spinning on the other side of his face and concealing it pretty good, but wow, that, and then all the fucking brain squishings in this movie, and the fucking maggot storm is pretty fucking disturbing. There's a lot of fucking gore in this, it's stabbings, but the gut puke will be, I don't know, man. That might be number one, dude. I think I put it number 2 to the scanner's head explosion at some point on a gore list we did, but Jesus Christ, it never gets old. I mean, it's just it's the sounds that sell it so good. The gurgling, the retching, the foam is coming out. I mean, oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can stop with that one, but go ahead, Colonel. Tell me something about the Beyond.
All right. So before I get into the Beyond, I will admit, like I said, the gut puking scene is one of the best gore scenes of all fucking time. Hands down, will not argue that. Like I said, the Beyond, the City really relied on the brain crunching, man, the brain squishing, man. Like, after the third time, I was kind of like, okay. But again, we know Fulci has his gags, and he sticks with them. He beats his dead horses. He has his nothings. They're usually, in the Beyond, eye gouging. We got 2 of those. But they were pretty good eye gougings. Joe the plumber, the ghoul hand comes out of the wall, and that was badass. Even though it's fake as shit, still loved it. One of my favorite gore scenes, and I know it's cheap looking. I know it is. Where all the guys in the library, magically falls, breaks his fucking back, he's paralyzed. Here come all the fucking spiders, and then you got the 2 obviously fake ones doing this shit across the floor.
He's all sashaying that shit. It's like, who the fuck was running that spider like that, man?
That's part of the charm of the Beyond, man. Like, does he get a really good eye gouge there too? Rips his fucking tongue out.
Once the spiders get to his face, I'm with you. It's great, but it's the fucking 5-minute walk to get to him.
But that's part of the charm of it, dude. That's what makes it fucking gives you dread. If you just ignore the 2 obviously oversized plastic fucking tarantulas.
I don't think
glass. It's scary.
Arachnophobes aren't even going to be afraid of this fucking scene, though.
I said, you get rid of those 2, it's fucking scary. Fuck you. I mean, again, on the shirt, you have to watch it in slow motion. They kind of show it in slow motion, but still kind of fast to really appreciate it. Jill getting her fucking head blown the fuck off. That's a great fucking shot, man.
That's their money shot in the Beyond.
That's their money shot. Like, I just wish they would have slowed it down even more so they could really appreciate it. Hell, even at the beginning, when it gets hit that fucking chain the first time, the gash goes across his face, and the water is obviously water, but like the blood comes pouring out, and the fucking seeing the nail twist into his skin through his fucking wrist onto the wall. Like, the gore is in your fucking face in the Beyond the whole fucking time. So you get quality, but you also get quantity in the Beyond with the gore. Say the Living Dead, you get much better quality in gore, but not the quantity. So overall, give the execution of the gore the edge in City, but the Beyond still takes the cake. Because I just feel like you get more of it.
It's not enough. Doesn't measure up to the gut puke.
Dude, the gut puke's just as shitty looking as the fucking Trains will see now when you look at it in 4K. I'm telling you.
The ferociousness of that scene. And you got 3 head squishes. You got the 3 fucking bar bums that get taken out by the teleporting zombies. How fucked up would that be? You got Sandra.
You got all the fucking ghouls, man. Like I said, you got all the fucking much better zombie designs in the Beyond than you had in fucking Zombie. I mean, even Father Thomas looked kind of fucking cheap. Let's be honest.
You don't like the zombies, how they looked in City? The ones that are underground when they go into that tomb?
Yeah, they looked okay, but it's just overall, the zombie design looked better in the Beyond than any Fulci film.
Huh? I thought they looked kind of
zombies in the fact,
I thought they looked kind of plain, just kind of.
They're more real. They're in the fucking morgue. They're fresh.
Dead bodies, I mean, but what I liked about that is their movement was dead on to how they walk in Zombie, which is why I can make that connection now kind of safely. That this is absolutely in the same fucking world.
It's a very loose fucking connection, but then
they're all loose connections, though.
I was gonna say, but then don't argue with me saying this isn't a trilogy. It's fucking loose as shit. Every connection is loose as shit in the Fulci world. We all know this.
So I mean,
I'm still going to Beyond because you get more bang for your buck.
If they had set out to say, like, hey, we're making these, we're going to have 7 doors to hell, we're going to make 7 fucking movies, all right, that would have been sweet, but it was years later when they said, hey, we got this trilogy here, and it's all kind of connected.
Well, just remember, Zombie was supposed to be a fucking comedy. Like, people were supposed to laugh at the shit. And people got scared and they made money and said, let's make a legit fucking horror film. Like 100% straight up horror. And you get City of the Living Dead. It all happens by accident in the world of Fulci, man. That's why I learned my research. It's all fucking luck.
It's a tough one, honestly, but I am just going to lean towards City for now. This isn't my debate. This is between you two. I don't want to corner Colonel here.
I'm used to it. I'm usually the odd one out when it comes like this type shit.
Fuck,
Crank wasn't on assignment. He'd be on my side.
I don't think he'd be making fun of both of us, probably.
He probably would be.
He'd be sitting down going his taxes. So we get started.
Here, actual words from Crank after this debate.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
He'd probably side with House by the Cemetery just for the fuck of it.
Just to fuck with us?
Yeah.
I just think that spider scene, I don't like it, the fact that it sounds like branches on the aluminum siding when they're walking up on the guy,
Yeah.
As they're going up, and then,
Crazy. It's a fantastic fucking scene. You can kiss my ass.
That's like fan film quality shit right there, dude. Back in the day.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I've seen some pretty shitty effects in other fucking horror movies, all right? Not that weren't fan films that came out in the 80s. Come on now. You're just being an asshole.
The spider scene is fine. Once the spiders get to his face and his eye and his nose and his tongue,
that's what I'm saying.
It's good.
I just want to know who did the fucking head cast for that and who did the head cast for the gut puking scene because the teeth almost look exactly the same.
I remember like and the VHS actually you couldn't tell. It was seamless. You know what I mean? Because it's just shitty quality. And then as the versions got better, it's like, oh yeah, that's a fucking ceramic or wood head or some shit. But man, it still makes me fucking retch when that fucking liver flaps out of her fucking mouth.
It's pretty good. Rewatchability is up next. Which,
Well,
I don't know.
these are, if you're a fan, you're going to watch them once a year at least.
Yeah. Well, I'm a fan. I don't even watch them once a year. Like, I have to be in the fucking mood. Because, like I said, Fulci doesn't require taste. But I've seen both of them multiple times. I've probably seen Beyond about 8, 9 times. City of the Living Dead, probably about 4. So it's been about a 2-to-1 ratio for me. But that's not shitting on City of the Living Dead. It's just I prefer the Beyond more.
4 is still really good for any film.
Fuck, I've seen them both. Many more times than that. I'm sure I'm into the 20s on both.
So both have great rewatchability value, and you both agree on that, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Again,
my note literally just says rewatchability. Hell yes. That's what I got.
It is the closing arguments, which do you guys want to take the floor for this, or do you want to just keep it like this?
Keep it like this. We've been like this the whole time.
It's fine.
Well, it's been a fucking fluff piece for each film. Both films from both of us, really. So Zag, why don't you take the lead on this one? Like I said, we've changed nobody's mind, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, in closing, it's really, I think this is Fulci. You know, I like the heavy hand of gore in City. I like the vast atmosphere. I like the fog. I like the wind. I like the fucking all of it. I mean, the only thing I don't really like about it is the baboon sounds that somehow become part of hell when hell is on earth. But I forgive that. But, I mean, City of Living Dead is absolutely a fucking nightmare caught on film. I've said that. I'll continue to say that. There's no escape, and it never lets you go until the credits roll. I just think, as far as these type of movies, these Italian splatter fests, as they were called back then, this is the finest piece of the crown jewel, in my opinion. I think it's better than The Beyond. Honestly, I can honestly say I probably like Zombie better than The Beyond. And House by the Cemetery and The Beyond are right fucking neck and neck with me.
Get the fuck out of here. That's the only time I'm going to say you're fucking wrong, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to change your mind here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But go on, continue.
That's all, you know, I'm just saying. That's where I stand with it. And, I mean, City raised the bar to the top tier, and I just been searching for the beat, something to beat it ever since. Like, as far as these type of things are. You know, yeah, we got Terrifier now and stuff like that. There's, you know, it took 40 fucking years to get something comparable, but that's where I stand, man. It's one of my favorites, and I'll stand behind it till death.
All right. Well, unfortunately for you, The Beyond is one of my favorites, and I will stand behind it till death. Because I find The Beyond, I think it's a very beautiful blend of a Southern Gothic tale and decadent Italian macabre poetry. Stole that line from Catherine McCall herself. She says The Beyond is her favorite film, the Gates of Hell trilogy. And I couldn't agree with her more. I do. I think it's a great story, beautiful story, much better shot. I think it looks better than City of the Living Dead. Definitely looks cleaner, especially on these 4K reissues. And this what I'm about to say could be said for City of the Living Dead too. But The Beyond, it's like the story structure is like an advanced fever dream. Like it is all over the place, but it's told to be all over the place. I feel like Fulci really wanted you to be disoriented watching this movie. And again, make up your own mind what's going on and what isn't. And we all know, who doesn't like a good doom and gloom fucking ending? it doesn't get more doom or gloom when our main characters, like Zag said, escape the hospital from the zombies, run down some stairs, back in the basement of the hotel. They follow the light, which everybody knows you don't do that. There they are in hell, purgatory, whatever you want to fucking call it. They're blind and they disappear. They fade away. That is such a great ending. Much better than the original ending that was planned. Did you hear about the original ending, Zag?
Oh,
Dude, they were supposed to go to a fucking... surely this has to be a joke. But apparently they were supposed to go to a fucking amusement park. And that's where they were going to fucking disappear to. I was like, that cannot be fucking real.
that'd be a happy ending. That goes against every Fulci ending ever made.
I know. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's so fucking dumb. Thank goodness they didn't do it. I find The Beyond to be Fulci's gem. That's my favorite. You're not going to change my opinion on it. I think it's a better movie than Stay of the Living Dead. Definitely a better movie than House by the Cemetery. Better than Zombie. If I'm ranking Fulci films here, just the four we're going to mention, it goes Beyond, Zombie, City, House by the Cemetery. And that's not me really shitting on City of the Living Dead. It's a fun movie. I just find it boring. I am kind of bored watching this movie when I'm watching City of the Living Dead. The Beyond, I'm geared in. I'm focused.
Beyond takes me out of the movie every time when I start wondering why what I'm seeing is happening. Like when Emily runs out of the house and then, Liza runs after her, but then it loops.
Yeah, it replays her mind. There's no footsteps. There's no sound. That's when Liza's realizing. That's why I said it's a little bit of a ghost story too.
It's fucking weird because there's footsteps on the thing I watched last night because I had to replay it to see. I was like, what the fuck was that? And it's somebody dubbed in fucking footsteps on this fucking version, dude. That's on Peacock.
No, I'm on my fucking Blu-ray in just to see if there's footsteps.
Yeah, dude, because I was like, what is going on here? And,
so I'm not going to fucking fault a 40-plus-year-old film for a sound edited fuck up.
Oh, the sound foley's were all fucking drunk on fucking wine or something when they did these things, man. Like I said, the baboons in City of the Living Dead. These are supposed to be demon sounds, not fucking jungle sounds.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm shocked. I still don't see how you put The Beyond at the bottom.
I didn't put it at the bottom. I put it under Zombie.
Well, you said it in House by the Cemetery is like this, like neck and fucking neck. Come on, dude. Again, you watch House by the Cemetery much more recently than I have. There's no fucking way they're comparable. No fucking way.
Gotta take the story now that you're older, dude. I'm telling you, man. You got to give it a spin before you can honestly look me in the eye and say that. I've seen it like a month ago, you know?
I can honestly look in the eye. I can watch it, and my opinion is not going to fucking change.
Okay, let's at least try it before you give me the
conviction.
conviction.
Is not going to fucking drop from 1 to fucking 4.
I wouldn't expect it to. Just like I won't take City off my number 1. But I mean, those other three are very comparable. But I mean, I think for me, Zombie affects me more than The Beyond does.
See, and I said Zombie affects me more than City of the Living Dead. Like I said, I enjoy City of the Living Dead, but I do find it very fucking boring. It's a hard watch at times if I'm watching it at home. If I'm in the theater, I'll probably pay a little more attention. Yeah, I'm at a Frizzy concert, I'll probably pay a little more attention. Other than that, I'm sorry, all the dust storms and shit, it just, yeah. I just don't like the way it's shot. I just think Beyond's a much bigger, polished film.
Feeds into the whole fucking gates are open, dude.
No, I'm sure it does, but it just doesn't translate well on film. I didn't really think it did. It's like, kind of makes it look like shit.
But I don't know, man. It's like, I'm happy we've got these movies in our lives. I think, depending on your mood, you can get into either one of them at any given time. You got to mix in House by the Cemetery every once in a while. To be fair, if you want to call this a trilogy, you got to do it right. And then watch fucking Zombie, too. Just to keep it all the best for.
Yeah, watch fucking New York Ripper, too.
Rick said to check the poll again, and City is now 52, and the Beyond is now 48.
Well, too bad we closed it when I said polls closed, so don't matter.
Oops.
Oops. Oh,
Good
boy.
poll.
Yeah.
52% City.
Too bad the poll closed at fucking 8 o'clock when we went live, man. You guys can't come in and vote after the fucking fact.
That was the fastest I've ever made a graphic. Jesus
Wait a minute.
Christ. I did it live.
Oh, we did it fucking live. All votes must be counted, Colonel. The hanging
All
chance.
polls actually fucking closed, Zag.
I
They
did
closed
say-
in 24 hours.
I did make a post saying 1 hour left, and once that hour was up. So technically, this one is the correct one, but I'm just having fun
Okay, it's all right.
You guys are fucking lame. Not you, Faith.
here.
Special thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, BD Mags, and Tyrone. Special shout out to our crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn Enchilada podcast, even though they did say that Beyond was number 4. You know, just give a shit, Rick. And last but certainly not least, thanks to our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Luke, Jimmy, and Rachel, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Chuck, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.